My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Monster Train Friends and Foes. We're going to be continuing with the Melting Remnant here with the Awoken. Again, for the reason that I would like to try and serve the patient. Okay, we're good. I would like to try and run a frontliner with rejuvenate. So I'm taking the restores here. We've also got 2 Wildwood Saps, 2 Drafts, and a Memento Mori in the base deck. It's a pretty good base deck so far. Units get an extra upgrade slot. Could be relevant this early on. Firewall, however, can end up just saving us so much life as we attempt to go for things like challenges we otherwise wouldn't be able to, right? So what am I going to struggle with here? Would I struggle with Sycophants? No. Would I struggle with Thorns? That is, if I was taking a trial in the first combat, would I struggle with any of them, or would Firewall save me? The plus 10 armor would be a little bad, just for the Little Fade not really getting some growth if it's a specific type of Little Fade. Actually, we're probably going to try and go for Draft, and Little Fade here. We're probably going to try and go for the Burnout Little Fade, the buff of its line, the Firelight, I believe its name is. Okay. Come on, Firelight. Oh! That's not Firelight. Well, this isn't great. Firelight's exactly missing from this, and it's exactly what the best one would be. I mean, it's Little Icarus if we're doing it. All right, fine. So the second plan here, we get Little Icarus, we grow Little Icarus real big, and then we throw an adaptive mutation from the Awoken on it, the rare card that heals a unit to full and then swaps its attack and health. And then we have a unit with 1 health and 1 attack, 200 health, and 200 thorns. That's the plan. Enemy unit sense with armor 10, unit draft. The thing about this is there's only like 1 unit that the Little Fade could actually kill here anyway. So I'd rather get the money. Wasn't gonna be able to get that collector regardless. There's the 1 unit we would have been able to kill. All right, it's the absolute best I could do. Let's throw you in front, a draft behind, and then we'll try and reform that draft next turn. If we go for... Actually, we don't even need to go for a heal here in order to prevent the damage there. So I'll go for a heal and some more regen on this line. Try and hopefully support another draft that might get reforms. Come on, draft. Not a draft. That top floor is going to be a little bit of a problem. I'm going to throw the train steward away just in case I need to get another burnout on it. Okay. We were extremely, extremely close right there. And that's lethal. So yeah, I didn't really get any growth on the Little Icarus there, but that wasn't really going to happen regardless. Molten Encasement, Dripfall, Wicklash. Wicklash is already really good with 2 drafts in the deck. Dripfall is just usually want 1. Molten Encasement. Usually a high quality pick early on so that you can try and actually protect your floor with some sort of an endless Molten Encasement kind of situation, but I'm not going to want to do that here, I don't think. I am going to take Dripfall. I'm a little sad I couldn't take that Wicklash though. Sharpen, Glimmer, and Restoration Detonation. Just for the sake of a little AoE, we could take that Glimmer. No. No, Little Icarus should be providing that AoE. Wickless Tycoon. That could be the money I really want early on. But there's the Thorned Hollow as well. And the Thorned Hollow has all these Wildwood Saps and all these restores. Like, we have a base to try and make this a Rejuvenate unit. It's just, if we do that, we're giving up on Little Fade, right? Are we? Maybe this is just a backline. Like, Lil Fade happens before that, but then if it all misses, this saves us. Okay. I feel more comfortable with that as an idea of this saves us just in case. Really happy to go for some upgrades here on my spells, actually. Double stack. There we go. Okay, I'm not going to be duping in the next area. I'm probably going to be going for a Merchant of Steel and a Pyromaze. But the Concealed Caverns could be a dupe event. And then I may end up going for an Awoken banner after that, so there's a dupe event here. Which basically is just telling me that I want to try and get the Wildwood Sap to cost a little less. So I'll ultimately intend on duping that. I should also actually power up one of these restores just because we have a unit with a huge amount of health that is denied to it instantly on play. So we are going to need to grow it back up. It should be fine. Just because we have the Thorn Tolo. Okay. Unfortunately, I knew if that was on the top floor, I'd already given it up by that placement there. Ah, rough. Okay. Lil Fade isn't even going to be able to kill the Reconciler in the back line. Oh my god, the Lil Fade is really doing nothing for us at this point. Okay. There we go. We finally get the Lil Fade to kill a Reconciler there for us. We've got one growth. The growth is online. Sometimes it does feel like if you don't get sycophant fights early, you're just not going to have a good time with your little Icarus. Maybe little Icarus just isn't part of this build anymore. Maybe this is now a Thorn Hollow build. Take a Restoration Detonation there as a nod towards the possibility of that. Quick burnout one. Let's look at the Concealed Cavern first. Okay. Here's an opportunity for me to get a Most Blessed Sword gilded. I'm going to take it. Regardless of the fact that I don't necessarily want this in my build, I'm going to take it just so that I can try and get the gold border around it. Plus 25 on the Thorn Tolo easily. Quick and the Burnout can go on the same draft right here. It's now a very valuable reform for us. Okay, they can enter with damage shield as much as they would like. I don't really have the ability to counter them, but hopefully I just have enough health on my frontliners and don't care about the other units dying. Right. Oh, yes, simply love to see that one right there. Get a double train stew on the top line as well. It's going well yet again. I may want to descend. Actually, hang on. Do I want to descend? Maybe I don't need to. Yeah, Forge Disciple will take enough damage next floor. We'll be okay. Can't play the Most Blessed Sword here without it purging. Oh, we got everyone except for the little draft. Rude. I'm not going to play the Train Steward here because I don't want it to burn out. Which gives me the ability to reform for a little draft instead. Lil Fade. You're really not pulling your weight here. It has 3 thorns. Thank heck I took the Thorned Hollow. Formless Child, Devourer of Death, and Channel Song. Channel Song would be really good after I cut all these train stewards, and I intend to anyhow. It'll help fish the drafts that I otherwise wouldn't have ease getting. I think I just constantly reform the drafts. I don't think I use the Lady of the Reform here either. God, I guess we draw. Ugh. Yuck. Oh. I don't like any of these turns. Alright, let's quickly cut 2 train stewards from the deck. It's really easy to get rid of the rest of them. Oh, and there's Merchant of Steel next to a Hersal Sword next. Great. Look at the Awoken, find a bunch of units I don't want. Hellvent to dupe a Wildwood Sap. The Eternal Flame upgrade isn't going to help us. It's possible that Lil Fade helps taking off, or rather starts taking off around now. Specifically, at this point, it would be Sycophants before, right? Can't remember the name of the ones that it would be at the moment, but there are units that would help. Hey, Lil Fade actually gets a kill here on the bottom line. Love to see it. Yeah, I guess that's where I'm going to be putting Lil Fades then. Unfortunately, this is only currently getting both of the garbage units for us. Let's get back the Lil Fade. If I put the Lil Fade on the bottom floor... Right, hang on. Channel Song first. Right. You can go on this floor. Then a Draft in the front line dies, and then Lil Fade kills the Quill Marksman on the attack. That doesn't do anything to the spell shield. Whoops. In fact, the Restoration Detonation does nothing to the spell shield either. Well, at least we get some damage out here quickly. Oh, life feels pretty dire right now. Yep. I don't know how we kill this clip. Oh, okay, this'll help. This'll help, certainly. We can descend you. Get an extra turn against you. $21. Okay, we live against that Clipped Guardian now, the absolute least. My god. Ah, Little Face still alive on the other floor. Whoops. Okay, burn out. Just get some damage out. We barely scraped it through this one. We got some thorns on our little Icarus, though. Oof. Remnant Pacts consume. Apply endless to a friendly unit. That would be a good way to start getting the... I mean, it'd be a good way to start getting exclusively Lil Fade back, right? But then after it's enhanced and given burnout, it's a really bad way to get it back. But having it every turn is probably a good way to grow it. No, having it every turn without the reform stats is not a good way to grow it. Pass these. Spreading Source and Cycle of Life are both pretty interesting here. Is it too late for Spreading of Spores? think it might be too late. I think it's too slow at giving us what we already need. Okay, there's the hope for peace. So now spells that otherwise would say purge, now say consume. Large stone, okay. We'll quickly remove these 2 train stewards. Have a look at our split anvil. Well, that would have completely changed my mind on the previous occasion. We'll still take it. That would have been spreading spores. Or cycle of life. I would have taken definitely one of them with the split anvil. Okay, strength stone on this draft. Let's reroll. And extra burnout on you, and then extra damage on the quick one. Do I really want to cut more cards from my deck right now? Probably not. I need to save some money. I need to be able to get powerful in a future floor. And if it's not going to be there, it's got to be in the Merchant Trinkets. Non-boss enemy units restore all health when they move up a floor. That guarantees that if a Master of Light ever gets to the top floor, we die. But the thing is, we have so little frontline damage right now that I'm pretty sure that just happens regardless. We'll see. So Thorned Hollow has to go in the mid line. No ifs, ands, or buts about one. Gave some rage to you, but don't really care about it. There we go. We got another slay off there. Okay, it actually ended up working out in the end. There's some Memento Mori for basically no damage. We don't get to play the draft if we do that as well, is the big thing. That Clip Guardian just kills us, right? Unless we deal a bunch of damage here. So we just deal the most damage we can and hope that was enough. Interesting. So you'll deal 6 and then you'll die. We're still alive, technically. Also get this draft to start dealing some damage against the front line there for us. Okay. I mean, that's good enough. We'll reach on the hollow and we get a kill. Oh my god, we're still alive. Why are we still alive? And... yep. It's enough. Oh, you simply love to see the thorns stack up like that. Subsuming Blade would be a good way to kill some of my own minions here, but... Resin removal. Remnant Host. Don't think we need any of those. Purge Gain. Bramble Lash is damage. And it's good with a Split Anvil. I think that's actually what we need to help us take out frontliners. We have another dupe space over here, but they have very, very few things that we want to dupe at this point. The thing is, I do want the health from that side, though. Alright. Okay. Holdover on Bramble Lash is really good. That's going to give us a lot of power against frontliners. Looking at the rest of these, honestly, there's probably nothing I really care about. Right, what do I really want to upgrade at this point? Like double stack or consume removal on the Wildwood Sap, but even then, probably not. Alright, let's look at the Concealed Caverns before we try and remove first. Draw +3 next turn, seems good to me. And then we Unstable Vortex to remove... Honestly, at this rate, probably 2 of those restores. The Wildwood Saps already have most of our health covered. Maybe it's a Restore and a Primitive Mold. No, I need to reform the units that I get. I need to reform them constantly, and they die constantly as well. Okay. Here's our next opportunity to heal up, but again, we are... Oh, it's the Scourges as well. We are effectively going to need to drop no HP in this fight. Which means that this turn, I have to play the Penance, and then Lil Fade, and then Thorn Hollow, and that's all I get to do. Unfortunately, that leaves the Absolver alive, which means that I have 1 energy tied up next turn. At least the Lil Fade is now killing some units for us. Okay, it's alive again, so I've got 1 energy tied up this turn. Oh, great. I get to do nothing this turn at all. I just have to play Scourges. This is what I was worried about. I'm locked out of being able to play this game now. Am I capable of winning? At all? It'd probably involve allowing that Weight of Contrition to go through. And then restoring the Thorned Hollow just so I have enough damage to kill this Absolver in the next cycle. Alright. And then the real thing is this Clipped Guardian can't be killed at all because I've spent all of my energy doing everything else. Yeah, this is the thing of coming into this fight with as little HP as I did. Also, I was never going to have a response for 2 Clipped Guardians in a row, especially 2 full lines of them. That was always going to be out of my reach. Yep, alright. If we had more health there, maybe. One thing is, maybe what I needed to do there was think about specifically the fact that I was going to be fighting the Fel, the Scourge Fel that is, before I chose my Relic at the boss, the first boss, Littlest. Because if I had an extra energy, that would have been a lot easier. I would have been able to play some of the drafts. I would have been able to reform some of the drafts. I would have been able to actually get some damage out there. I would have been able to start trying to hold over stuff. I would have been able to try and actually get more health on the minions so it would have more spikes. I would have at least had a chance with 1 extra energy, but without that extra energy, there was nothing I could do there. I had lost that fight before I entered. To be fair, I'd lost a bunch of my HP on previous fights. Like, that was just the straw that broke the camel's back. That is not ultimately the thing that killed the run. Well, technically, it ultimately is the thing that killed the run, but the combination of all of the factors that brought me to that point also did. The severe commitment to try and get Little Icarus to take off. Little Icarus was going to be okay after that fight. It was going to be reasonable, especially if I had the ability to reform it a couple times. And then, if I did find Adaptive Mutation, the rare, after that Fel fight, suddenly we would have actually been really powerful. We had 2 plans for taking out kind of like broad sweep units, and we had 1 plan, just spamming drafts for trying to take out frontline units, and then the second plan for the Bramble Lash, which I was trying to include in the very end. I was also buffing the drafts to try and have them be more consistent for being able to take out frontline units. Obviously, them having quick was a little bit of a nod towards that. But those things as it turns out, were too little too late. We would have needed probably... Honestly, if we took like an Animus of speed early on, I wonder how that one would have worked out for us. Because we turned down 2 early Animus of speed at different Awoken locations. Because I wanted the space behind the Awoken Hollow in order to play the drafts. But here it is, a loss with Little Fade and the Awoken. Should we stay on that? No, we shouldn't stay on this one. We'll cycle around. We'll come back to the ones that we've failed in the follow-up to the kind of cycle that we're doing at the moment. But next up will be Lil Fade and the Stygian. For the moment, though, TrickRemarksYours is the custom challenge seed for anyone who would like to play it. For the moment, my name is Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Monster Train. You win some, you lose some. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.